The others were afraid to take a chance on themselves. The others couldn't see themselves beyond that company. They couldn't see life after that company. The same reason that people stay in relationships where they're abused or they're unhappy or it's unfulfilling. They can't see themselves beyond that relationship. They can't see themselves enjoying life without that person. They think that this is all that they can do. The same reason that people get stuck at a certain level in life. They can't see things being better for them. And they think that this is it and this is all they deserve. This is all they've ever seen. It's been passed on to them. And they think that this is it for them. Oh no. I was looking what Dr. Blanton, Smiley Blanton, who is a colleague of Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, what he said about fear. He said, fear is the most subtle and destructive of all human diseases. Ladies and gentlemen, fear kills dreams. Fear kills hope. Fear put people in the hospital. Fear can aid you. Fear, ladies and gentlemen, can hold you back from doing something that you know within yourself that you're capable of doing, but it will paralyze you. And it seemed like you're in a hypnotic spell. And I ask you a question, what is the benefit? What's the benefit of allowing fear to hold you back? What's the benefit of giving up on yourself? Of not stepping out on life and taking life on? What is the benefit for you? What's the plus in that? That's one of the things I had to ask myself. So I didn't want to make any mistakes. I wanted everybody to like me. I wanted to be perfect the first time I did something. It's not going to happen. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to hurt some folks' feelings. You're going to create some enemies whenever you decide that you want to begin to take life on. You've got to ask yourself, how long am I going to allow this to hold me back?
All right.
Let's brown this thing.
We're gonna start kicking these things off, right, man? And
man, that was on a great note.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Hopefully, you all enjoyed that video, that clip, because listen, it's all about not giving up and not settling and moving forward, you all. But welcome again. We appreciate you all who came out, and please go out there if you're on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Go out there and give us some likes, give us some feedbacks. If you feeling us, let us know. If you not, let us know that too, because we want to improve and be able to serve you all as best as we can. And we serve ourselves at the same time, man, because I get my cup running over every time we have this live. So, hey,
man.
Again, appreciate you all for coming back. I see the missus out there. I see Tennille out there. There's
What's
a few
up,
others
y'all?
out there that
Love
I
the support.
see.
Love the support, y'all. Hey,
Always
this is
appreciate it.
Absolutely. And this is a very, very special live. Well, before I start, want to go. I don't know if we have the banner available, but y'all go ahead and visit WTFMA.com. Hey, that's our new rebranded website. There we go. Go ahead and check it out. It's getting some traction. We've gotten some great feedback. So go ahead and give us a comment and let us know what you think about it. But don't check it out now. Check it out after the live is over with. So,
and we got the books on that website too, you all. The one-on-one sessions you can book with us. Let us know how you feeling. If you need some advice, we got all of that out there. Go out there and check out the page. And as he stated, leave us some feedback. If you like it, if you don't, if it's too much, if it's not enough, let us know. We always looking to grow and improve. So
absolutely. Hey, and that's the mark of a true leader. And maybe we're gonna go ahead and segue into that now, but being able to receive feedback is something that I know personally has helped me to be able to lead people and for people to really be able to trust me. I'm not sure if you all have read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a great read. I think it's by Dale
Dale
Carnegie.
Carnegie. That's St.
Yeah,
Louis boy right there.
yeah. Yeah, man. So hey, listen, this if any of you all out there are looking to be leaders, if you're looking to be an influencer of any sort, as you know, we here at the WTF Academy, myself and Coach E, we are mentors and coaches here at the Academy, and we teach mentors how to become better mentors, and we also teach the mentees of how to create success, their own definition of success in their own life, because we push the fact that success doesn't always mean having a big house, a fast car, a whole lot of money. Some people don't have those goals. For many people, those are goals of success. But we push the, to be able to find that inner success within yourself and to really find that joy and peace and purpose of why you're here on this earth. But just being able to accept criticism and feedback is a mark of a true leader. So just kind of my story, man. And I know I've been really talked about this in a good little while, but for those who don't know, once I got my bachelor's degree in business management, I was working at UPS at that time, and I was loading trucks for 9 years, working part-time, going to school part-time. Yeah, it took me 9 years to get my bachelor's degree. Nonetheless, I got it with no student debt, and immediately after graduating in 2015, that's a blessing, man.
Man, I'm cutting you off, bro, because listen, to get a bachelor's degree from Georgia State with no debt, man, I still owe out the wazoo in student loans. So that's impressive, bro. So
I appreciate it.
Definitely giving you your flowers for that, you are. That's awesome.
It. Yeah. And we here at the WTF Academy, and I know I'm kind of bouncing around, but since you said that about the school, college has its place, right? We're not saying don't go to college, don't go to school. Hey, if you're gonna be a doctor, engineer, a person who needs to have that formal education, hey, go ahead and go to college. But if you're that type of person who is like, hey, I'm a free thinker, I'm a self-starter, hey, that's what we here at the WTF Academy help you to achieve, is that inner clarity so that you can go forward and not have to be constrained to a classroom so they can tell you what to do with your career and your life. But going back to my story. So once I graduated in 2015 with my bachelor's degree, I immediately got promoted to part-time supervisor in the operations hub at UPS. All right, did that for 18 months, and then I got a promotion to the corporate office. So I literally started from the bottom in the trucks, and then I went to the corporate office. Like, that was a dream come true. I was actually working in a job, my very first job that I actually had, and I was using my degree in my job. How many people graduate from college and actually use their degree? I thought I had it made, but during that process of them grooming me to be a leader and to be able to lead teams of 10 to 15 hourly employees, they told me how to be a real leader. And one thing that I will say, and I'm gonna pass the mic to you, E, is that the mark of a true leader has one special quality, and that is they are accountable. They hold themselves accountable. All right. And that's the hardest thing to do, especially in management, is one thing that I've learned, especially in operations where things are so iffy and there's so many variables, is that you are responsible for things that are totally out of your control, things that you are depending on other people to do for you. You have to hold yourself responsible because your manager is going to say, why did this happen? And you have to have an answer, and you have to have a solution of how you're going to fix it. Even though you have no control, very little control over the variables, you have to come up with a plan of how to fix it going forward and how to improve your team. So one thing I will say about leadership is a great leader, a great leader must hold themselves accountable.
Man, you're completely right. And here's how I manage my teams while I'm leading through different projects and different things in corporate America. I would always tell my team that they make me look good. Because if you get the right people, it's essential to hire the right people. Now, everybody's not going to be perfect, but even if you hire somebody that's not good, you're still accountable for that. You're accountable for that hire, so you got to do your due diligence. And me being the delegator that I am, I don't want none of the sole responsibilities. I like panels when it comes to hiring. I want a lot of people. So like when we bring on mentors, when we were working with Kevin and Deontay and bringing them on, even with Dimitri, using him as an example, the reason why he was brought on is because the kids said, we want that dude. It wasn't because just me. I brought him in just to introduce him. They said, no, we want him back. And me being the leader that I am and said, hey, they want you back, bro. So you passed the test essentially, which he didn't even know it was an interview. It was just, hey, present. They want to know about crypto, which he's dope at, by the way. If you got anything that you're thinking about with crypto, you need to hit my guy up because he got something for you. But me being the leader that I am, I said, I need to step back. And Dimitri will tell you, once they took on to Dimitri, I fell back into all of the mentoring classes. I will pop my head in, just show this old pretty face off every now and then. But I delegated it to him. Like, bro, you want to do this? He said, this has been my dream. Man, then rock it. And that's what true leadership is. Leadership isn't, I'm going to do everything. See, this is what a lot of you leaders out there that are stressed out. And because you're accountable for everything, you feel like, I got to have my hands in this. I got to have no, you need to empower your team. And once you empower your team, you can go golfing the second half of the day. Like I used to do every Friday. They knew I only worked 4 hours on that Friday because I had a tea time that Friday afternoon. But, you know, enough about me, man. No, that's awesome, bro, the way you got it out the mud through college and brought it all the way up to where you're managing people. And I've seen you manage people, man, and it's smooth the way you do it. Like you keep me in check because I be ready to snap off on some of them. Y'all know me. Like, look, man, get your butt busy. But he's like, hey, you know, he has a different approach, and that's what keeps us all the way right and all the way together.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we definitely complement each other, man. And yeah, our styles definitely do work because you're definitely high energy, which is what people need. And I'm a little bit more even keeled at times, which is what people need also. So we have that nice mix going on. But yeah, some things that you said were very, very key. And I want to expound on, since we're talking about leadership, is that, you know, when you said that you brought me on, then at first you were running the mentoring classes, and then you started to step back and you said one key word, and that was to delegate. And that's something that true leaders really do. Like that's something that, you know, that leaders have to be comfortable with, is first of all, doing something. So we call it the do, document, and delegate method, right?
Yes.
First, you have to get good at doing something. All right. You have to perfect your craft, right? Then you have to create systems, put processes in place. We call them SOPs in the operations world and business world. And yep, standard operating procedures. All right. So you want to make sure that you standardize everything. So whoever comes into that seat later on to take over that role, then they can pick up, read this document, and understand what the role is about. Like that's actually something that I was tasked to do when I went to corporate. Like my manager at that time, like she said, hey, these are the instructions for these reports that are doing this time. Feel free to change them to make them easier, to make them better. And I had a field day. That was something that I freaking loved. I'm like, cool, I can make it my own. So that gave me that freedom and the experience to be able to write processes and systems in place that really help us out here and keep things organized at the WTF Academy. So yeah, do, document, and then delegate. Delegation is something is multifaceted, because in order for you to successfully delegate or assign responsibility to someone else on your team who is accountable to you, you must first train them up properly and give them the right tools to be successful. I can't tell you how many times that I've been at my job and, you know, somebody has expected me to do something and I didn't, first of all, know how to do it. or I didn't have the proper equipment to get it done properly or in a timely fashion. So if you're going to hold somebody accountable for getting results that you want them to get, please, 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 as a leader, hold yourself accountable to train them up properly and show them the right way to do it. And always make sure that they have the proper equipment and resources at their disposal so that they can do the task properly.
Because guess what's going to happen, you all, and you leaders, you entrepreneurs out there. I see some of you out there. I appreciate you, Ola. I see you out there. Michaela, my daughter out there, she got her own business. Yeah, I helped her get that, by the way. Yeah,
there we go.
A little bit of that credit. But here's what happens when you don't do what Dimitri just stated. What's the magic word is? I ain't even know. I ain't even know, because you didn't have it documented. You expected. See, this is that E word, expectations. Man, listen, you could think someone's the best person on this earth and you know they're good. You know, you've seen them in action. You're like, oh yeah, if you don't set the correct expectations and get that signature and walk them through every line, I mean, every line, you have to be granular. You have to be manual. We all have been at jobs. Hell, McDonald's sends you through training to make sure that you know how to cook them fries right and flip them like everybody. That's your SOP. That's your SOP. When you don't do that and they go in there and start burning stuff up, they can say, I ain't get trained on this. I don't know what, so you give them an out. You eliminate all that, and you can eliminate a lot of mistakes by training your staff. And here's the thing, you all, most people want to be trained. They want to be trained because they don't want to make the mistakes. If they're okay with making the mistake, you need to scratch your head and be like, why did I hire this person? Because they knowingly made that mistake and they don't really care. Most people care and they want to do a good job. And people want to be rewarded for doing a good job. So even as you set up your SOP, your standard operating procedure, and here's another great thing that the SOP gives you, the ability to go on vacation. Man, so many entrepreneurs and bosses cannot step away for a week and let their business run. If you have a business right now that's so dependent on you, I will tell you to look at your standard operating procedure. Something, because it should be your goal with being a boss is to remove yourself from that business and it functions while you're not there. You got bigger things to do as a leader. So you have to be able to trust. Even after you train, you trust. And people are going to show their hands, you all. Some are better than others, but most of them show their hands and they'll let you know whether they're truly on board with your purpose and your passion and your vision, or if they're there to just get a check. And some of them are worthy too of a hire, but you know them for what they are. So then you can start adjusting your org chart, start adjusting who you give the responsibilities to, who you don't give responsibilities to, because there's a pecking order, you all, and everybody, ducks don't fly with eagles. It's a difference. I'm sorry. One is a predator. Well, both of them actually predators, but one will tear the other one up. So you got to know who your ducks are and who your eagles are and fit them in the right role. And you do that through the training process, through trusting them, and through just setting it up to where I want to go on vacation for 3 weeks and I don't want my business to collapse while I'm gone. And if you could ask yourself right now, will my business keep going if I went to Punta Cana for 3 weeks? And it won't, then you got some work to do, y'all.
Hey man, that goes back to the systems. And I've said a few months ago, maybe a couple of months ago, that the acronym for system is saving you stress, time, energy, and money. All right. So make sure to always put those systems in place to save you stress, time, energy,
Man, we
and
need
money.
that in the chat.
Yeah. So yeah, you want to put that in there? That would be dope. But yeah, so now we have about 10 minutes left in the live, but I want to touch on one last thing about leadership and the do, document, delegate formula. So when you delegate to your employees, like we talked about, training, making sure that they have the right information and the right resources to get their job properly. But it's like, okay, if you've given them that, giving them everything that they need to be successful, but they're still not doing what they need to do to hit the mark for that particular position, what else can you do? I'm glad you asked. That's a great question. So one thing that, and I go back to my UPS days, because that was one of the most strenuous jobs and one of the most time driven. Like, you have to, like, people want their packages, right? So you, like, y'all don't understand the effort that goes behind that stuff. But one thing that really did work, and it really keeps the employees wanting to keep hitting that mark, like E said, like they don't want to make that mistake. One way that you get your people to buy into what you need them to do is to have them make verbal commitments. And one way that looked when I was working in operations is that when the building would first start up, we would have to process a certain amount of trailers. We would have to unload a certain amount of trailers the first hour. And we had to tell over the radio, hey, I'm committing to processing X amount. And like, it was a minimum that we had to process. So we couldn't just say one. It had to be at least like something like 5 or 6 or more. So we had to announce that over the radio and everybody could hear it. So like, we had to hold ourselves accountable because we said it out loud. People knew who we were and what area we actually ran. So if you all are having issues getting your people to hit that mark and really buy into what you need them to do, have them give you a commitment. Some people may feel a little funny about the written commitment, writing stuff down on paper and signing it. That's cool. Have them give you a verbal commitment. Say, hey, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z by this date. And if I don't, then, hey, we'll just have to take it that step further. But just the fact that they made that commitment out loud and they spoke it, that affirmation, that speaking, man, it's something about that speaking, man. It changes that mindset to where, okay, it's like, I got to really put my effort in now because I didn't said it. I put it out there in the atmosphere. So that really works.
That's perfect, bro. And I want to touch on this to add to what he just stated about that. Once you set that up and they make the commitments, be a great leader and reward your people. Not just with a paycheck. Everybody in there is there to collect the paycheck. But when they start checking off boxes, now you need the boxes in order for them to check it off. You give them goals. You give them, if you do this and you do this and you do that, then I'm going to reward you more than just your paycheck. Or either you'll end up with a bunch of people doing just enough not to get fired. And you don't want that on your team, especially the new entrepreneurs, because we always ask people to wear multiple hats when we're starting out. We wear multiple hats, and because we're getting it out the mud. I know some of you all might have been born into rich families, but your boy was not one of them people. And so we have to create this from the bottom. And normally that means, hey, we're doing some social media work. We're doing some email work. We're doing some video editing. We're doing all types while doing the budget, while completing annual reports. So we do a lot of these different things, and we ask our employees to do a lot of different things. And that's okay to start out, but you gotta create a reward system. Give them something like, if you do such and such, if you, like with our youngsters, I got him set up right now with YouTube. If he hits this mark, he got $100 gift card coming, in addition to what we already give him. But you got an extra little bonus because you dangle that little carrot, that little nugget out there, and a lot of people will go above and beyond. And then you'll really be able to see who really wants it and who's there just to get a check. But putting that reward system in place, man, it motivates people, you all. And we all know that. We've all had jobs. We've all needed that extra kick in the behind to be like, man, you know what? I'm finna push it. I'm gonna hit that threshold. I'm gonna hit that goal. I'm gonna knock it out the park. And when you do, you have a great sense of fulfillment, and then you get a nice little reward in the process. I give you a quick example. When I was in corporate America in IT, and I was working the call center. I'm tier 1 support, bottom of the barrel. We get all the bad calls. But there was a storm in New York, and I forgot her, the VP. She said, "Would anybody work that weekend?" And it was last second. It was hitting our data center in New York, and nobody would do it but me, because at the time, if y'all know my story, I was hungry. I was beyond hungry. I was famished. I wanted all I could get, and they was paying me $20 an hour. What? But anyway, that was I would not work for $20 an hour to save my life right now, but that's a whole nother story. But she was like, nobody else would do it. So I came in that weekend and worked the entire weekend, didn't do nothing. They had food delivered for me. I mean, I'm up here by myself just having fun. Man, listen, the woman gave me a gift card with $1,000 on it. She said, and she announced it to the entire department that Ernest was the only one that did it, that stepped up and went above and beyond. So he got awarded $1,000 gift card where he can pay. It was a Visa. And I literally bought me a watch. I said, I'm buying me a watch with this. I don't care. I ain't finna spend this on no bills. I earned this extra. But here's what I got. I got the reward of walking around the plant talking stuff. Y'all, hey, if y'all know me, I'm bragging like, check me out. Well, you know how you gotta pop your sleeve and let them know, hey, check this out. And they know what you're doing, because now they jealous. But guess what happened after that? The next time that woman came out with that, it was a whole bunch of folks that wanted to step up and do that and go above and beyond. But I took the initiative to do it. And that's what you want to do, is encourage. And I did it not knowing that I was even going to get, that $1,000. I didn't know it. But doing things like that would definitely push your people, and they will make you great, as Antonia stated. They will make you look good with having your team in place with these little initiatives and incentives is the word I'm looking for, is these little incentives to help push them above and beyond doing just enough.
Yeah. And it just to kind of add a little bit more to that, which was great. I want to kind of dig a little bit deeper just to give people a little bit more context about how valuable incentives are, and about how the delivery of the incentives really matter as well. Because you could have gotten that gift card in the back room somewhere, not in front of your peers. It's still $1,000. You still would have had to watch, but would it have had the same effect? I don't think so, man.
Nope.
So one key to remember, y'all, as leaders, you want to praise your people in public, because recognition. So this is one of the few things that I did learn in college. So they tell you that that money is just a temporary incentive for people to do better. It's a temporary form of recognition, because people get used to that paycheck. But people, if you don't have the resources to give people like a raise or a nice gift card, give them public recognition, right? Like, you want to make sure you praise them in public and reprimand them in private, right? Because that also allows you to build trust as a leader. You're allowing your people to get the recognition for the hard work that they have done for you in the organization. You're doing that in public. But if there's something that you need to provide constructive criticism to them about, you want to make sure that you don't do that in public, because that's going to end up causing their morale to drop, and it causes the opposite effect. And you really break that trust, and you don't want to break that trust, because you lose that influence, and then they stop listening, and then it's a big mess, right? So you want to praise them in public and correct them in private. So I just wanted to just add that. And recognition is the best free way to empower your team and get them on your side. Is just give them public, genuine recognition.
That's right. Hey, bro, that's spot on. That don't never humiliate one of your employees in public or in front of the team you are. It's just uncalled for. And as he stated, morale is critical. If you have a team that's happy, they're going to do better work for you than someone who's not happy. So you got to know your team. And if you know that, and there's different personalities. So here at the WTF, we have a personality test for all of our mentees to go through. So we'll know how we should approach them and how we should handle them and what would be best beneficial for them. So this is a step. If you're an entrepreneur and you have a job, do a personality test. They have a lot of free ones out there. They have the DISC test and all type of different tests out there to really understand how to communicate with them and how to motivate them. Because at the end of the day, the majority of our people want to be successful. They want to do a good job. And I have to say this before we wrap up, because I know we're getting close to that time, but and I think I missed this. We started out with Les Brown with one of his motivational speeches. And I love Les Brown. If you ain't following him, you need to. He's one of the GOATs. But this MLK was Monday. So shout out to everyone that celebrated Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday and his legacy, which was all about leadership. He lived leadership to the T. He did the ultimate sacrifice in leadership by giving up his life to keep the movement moving forward, to allow guys like myself and Dimitri to be on this call today, and Antonia and Ola and the Queen and Kayla and Tennille and just anybody else that I missed. I apologize, but we're so grateful to what he did and his movement and his leadership. And to this day, the man been gone for a while, and his leadership is still being talked about to this day. That's true legacy right there. If you want to be a true leader, then be able to lead while you ain't even here. Oh boy, look, hey, man, when you get to that point and people are following your lead and you're in the grave, oh man, this to me is eternal life, and you will never die. And one of the best ways to do that is in a book. And he has a few of those himself. But hey, appreciate you all. Dimitri always takes us out. But again, if you're rewatching this, share this out on your page. Hey, add us in it. We'll add some comments. If you have comments, if you have questions, go out there to the website, WTFMA.com. You can get a consultation call set up with us. You can get a free ebook out there. It's a couple of things we got on the website. It's all in there. Here's some of the testimonials. See some of the pictures that we got out there. Like, you know, we love what we do, you all, and we're looking to improve that every day in every way. So your feedback is essential, and we really, really thank you all for all that you've done in 2024. And we ain't going nowhere. Y'all seen some of them fall off. We ain't going nowhere, but
to the top. Hey. And on that note, thank you all from the bottom of both of our hearts for another successful WTF Wednesday live stream. Always remember, WTF not only means what's the formula, but it also stands for our mantra, which means winning takes focus. So, hey, until next Wednesday, we'll see y'all later. Stay focused. Keep winning. Peace.